Jill!
You came.
Get back!
Clive, how did you...
I'll explain later. Hands! Can you walk?
Out of here I can.
Stand still! Phoenix. Are you not the dominant of fire? I see naught before me but a guttering flame. In earnest, then.
Can you go on?
I think so. But to where?
What did you do to Joshua?
The Phoenix? Oh, I expect he will survive. This consciousness in which you coil your feeble souls is grown thick with desperation. And thus has my master turned to my blade. The world will soon be painted in black, and all that live shall gather in death's autumn wake.
Not if we remove the cause of this misery. Not if we destroy the last of the Mother Crystals and restore balance to the world.
Come. Do you truly think it's so simple? The Blight is inevitable. Not even the Almighty might stop its endless march. Your efforts will avail us naught. Naught, that is, but suffering. You must embrace the truth, Mythos. Accept your place with the Lord.
Keep it. As long as there's a chance, there's a choice.
Ever led astray by your blind resolve.
Now, it is time you learn the inevitability of your divine fate. However much it may hurt.
Get as far away as you can.
Clive, no!
Trust me, Jill.
We don't have to do this. Oh, but we do. If only to remind you of your duty. Defend yourself. In the short time since our last meeting, you have grown much. Yet as a vessel, I fear my lord will still find you lacking. All this fire and fury, and for what? Stopping the blight. A foolish notion fed to you by a foolish man.
How dare you?
You know naught of this world nor of our place in it. If our fates were so easily rewritten, we would all be gods. I have seen enough. If reason cannot sway you, there are other means of persuasion that might. Rise, Mythos. Praise your God. Assume the mantle you've been given. And thus is the light of hope severed. You would yield so soon.
Never.
Clive!
Do you not see? Your iron will weighs you down, dragging you ever further from your purpose.
And what is my purpose?
Mythos. Who are we? What are the dominants? The breath of the Creator still warm on our lips. We carry his light that we might guide the masses in his name. We are but mighty acts of God.
We are more than that.
You would be nothing without what he has granted you. The power we wield is his, and yet every time we draw upon it, it wears away at our very being. It breaks us. It unmakes us. that its immaculate aspect might reveal itself. The icon. It is too much for even his chosen few. Apart from you, Mythos. You wield the might of many, yet your body does not answer for its avarice.
What are you saying?
What I am saying is that we dominants are a means to an end. We were created for you, that you might drink deep of our strength and thereby fulfill your divine purpose.
Which is?
To feed. As you would know, could you only look beyond the walls of your prison of self-regard. As long as you choose to ignore this, you shall never penetrate my defenses. Still, you may take solace in the fact that you are not alone in your plight. The chains of volition shackle all of mankind, but there is yet cause to rejoice. For the Lord, in his mercy, has taken pity on his flawed creations, and shall see them restored to their proper forms.
And what exactly would that be?
Why, loyal servants to God.
No.
Manners, Lord Rossfield? They are men, like you and me. Albeit ones unburdened by the wills that drive our kind to madness. They are pure. They are divine.
You mean to turn everyone Akashic?
Not turn, Mythos. Turn back. For too long has mankind been led astray by their clamorous wills. It is time they return to a world of quiet equality, where they might once more know salvation.
Salvation! And abandon everything we hold dear!
We don't need your salvation. We'll save ourselves, and we'll do it on our own terms. Not yours. And not your gods!
With every defiant expression of your will, the tighter the chains of consciousness become. But perhaps that fact may be put to use.
Clive!
The faster it binds you to the remaining dominance, the stronger your hunger will become. Until it leads you back to the only answer there ever was. Mayhap not by the path my master intended, but back all the same.
Ash is not far. I could freeze a path.
You're in no fit state.
Probably not, but I can try. Don't look back!
I hope the others are safe.
The Enterprise was clear of the gap when we fell. They made it, Jill. And they will have seen the ice, where it led. We need only wait till dawn. This is the second time Barnabas has bested me. I'm powerless against him.
And maybe there really is nothing else for it but to give yourself to his master. Only you won't do that. The Clive I know would never do that.
So you believe? But do you really know me? If what Barnabas said was true, then I'm more monster than man. And each time I summon the flames from within, I burn away the things that make me who I am.
Do you, though? Think of what you've used that power for, of all the people you've saved. It doesn't matter how or by whom it was granted, only how you choose to use it. And you've chosen to use it for good, haven't you?
I've also used it to kill. What if that's my purpose? What if it's all I'm good for?
You're still that same boy I grew up with. Always so eager to save everyone around you, and yet always so alone. Because you failed to realize the one thing that needed saving most of all. You, Clive. You. You never once took the time to save yourself.
Myself? I think I might be beyond saving.
No one is beyond saving, provided they want to be saved. You fight to survive. And you survive so that you may protect those you love. It's what you do. What you've always done. And I know you're not about to change. So I'm going to help you. To give you what you need to protect us all.
Jill. Are you sure? If this is what you want, then...
Don't worry, Clive. It is. This burden, I'll give you the strength to bear it alone.
But I'm not alone. These burdens I carry, my sins, my pain, my sorrow, I see now that they are all a part of me. those I love. And I will gladly bear your burdens too, until my last breath.
Clive.
I promise you, Jill. We will find a way to escape this fate. Find a way to save each other. That we might one day look upon the moon again, together.
And I promise you, Clive, that I will be there, no matter what you must become.
I know. I never thought a smile could bring me so much joy.
What of Barnabas? Do we pursue him?
No. Our paths will cross again soon enough. Whether we like it or not. Besides, there is something we must do first.
Of course. Drake's spine. The last Mother Crystal.
The Einherjar is at the bottom of the sea. Waloed won't dare move on Storm without her. But they know we're coming now. We'll need a plan. And a damn good one at that.
Then let's go home and find one. Ash will have to wait.
Mid says Odin split the sea in two. She's always been partial to a tall tale. But there's tall, and then there's tall.
I struggle to believe it myself.
I see your uncle isn't with you.
He stayed with the Enterprise. After our brush with the Einherja, she was in urgent need of repair. And my uncle knows a shipwright in Randalar. We're to join him there when we're ready to sail for Ash.
You sure that's wise? Last I heard, the place was still overrun with Akashic.
Show me a city where that isn't true. Ultima's plague is spreading.
We're running out of time, aren't we? We've done our best to shore up the hideaway. But I doubt a few planks will stop what's coming. Still, we'll keep at it. Every little helps, I suppose.
Let's hope so. I should visit Joshua, assuming Talia will allow it.
All right, Clive. Blackthorn told me you helped him out again. Tough for that. Speaking of which, I'm actually a bit,
Worried about him. And you want my advice?
afraid so. It's a bit of a funny one, this, but I saved this posh knob while I was out on a mission, and he gave me this flashy ring to say thank you. So, obviously, I show it to Blackthorn thinking he'll be impressed, only for him to go white as a sheet and quiet as a curl instead. try as I might, I can't for the life of me work out what could have got him upset like that. And seeing as how Blackthorn opens up when you're around, I thought maybe...
I'd speak to him again. Well, I suppose there's no point leaving him to stew.
Cheers, Clive.
I'll be sure to pay him a visit as soon as I have a moment.
All right, I'll meet you by the forge then. You come along when you're ready.
How are you feeling, Joshua?
Better than I was.
But not nearly as well as you should be. Your cuts and burns may have healed, but your body still bears the burden of every spell cast.
And what would you have had me do? It was no ordinary foe we faced. It was the Warden of Darkness. Yet still, it was not enough. The king could have ended me at any moment, but instead chose to toy with me like a curl does a mouse.
You underestimate yourself.
Oh, it was crystal clear. Only one man established his dominance that day, and that man was Barnabas. I'm sorry, brother. That was ill-spoken. It's just... I have never felt so powerless. And when so many are looking to us for strength, perhaps the prince feels the same.
What is this place?
Don't move.
Here, it's fresh from the well. Grandmother told me spirits sometimes get lost, and that the lanterns guide them to their proper place. I set one on the river for her when she passed away.
The fiend works
voice from the shadows. Was it you who guided my hand then, Ultima? No, not you. This is my doing, my fault, my sin to bear. And for it, I must atone.
Your hurts are healing nicely. It was my poultices that saw you well.
You make them?
And sell them, or try to. Earns me enough for bread, most days.
Forgive me. I have nothing to...
I know, but I couldn't just leave you lying there. You're going then?
Of course. I'm healed. Thanks to you and your poultices.
Will you promise to come back and visit?
Well, Phoenix, it would seem that I owe you my wings.
Perhaps he can find an answer. You will be returning to Waloed soon, I gather.
I see no reason to wait.
Then neither do I.
I can think of a few, but I doubt they'll stop you. You will take your medicine.
Of course, Lady Daya.
Set on leaving already, are you?
How long will it take us to get back to Ash?
Dunno, about the same amount of time it took us to get here. Maybe less, if your uncle can find someone trustworthy to patch up the Enterprise. All depends on where we're putting into port, mind.
Yes. It's not as if we can put ashore wherever we choose. We have to assume that the whole of Ash is hostile, and that we'll be attacked on sight.
Then we must find a place they won't think to look. And I have an idea who might know of one.
The Professor! I'll go and tell you come in.
While you're plotting our course, I'll be in the shelves with your lawsman. I wish to pick his brains about Ultima.
Then I'll talk to Karen about supplies for the journey. They may not be easy to come by in Ash.
Your brother's body won't take much more of this recklessness. You know that, don't you?
I do.
You've seen more of the world these past 5 years than most do in a lifetime. It's a shame you never had a moment to enjoy it.
I still say it were a compliment.
Say it all you like. It doesn't make it true. Ah, Clive. I was wondering when you'd arrive. Please tell me you've come to take our young prodigy here off my hands.
I'm not here for Mid. I need information on Ash.
Then why not ask Molly if you can look in one of her ovens? Go on.
As soon as the Enterprise is ready, we'll be setting out for Drake's Spine. And we're going to need a safe place to land.
Preferably one that won't see my ship blown to shit and splinters.
If it were that easy, do you think Waloed would have resisted invasion for so long? Very little is known of Ash, and the information we do have is spotty and outdated. We have the good King Barnabas to thank for that. Waloed's borders have been closed to outsiders since the day he seized the throne. If there is anywhere safe to land, you won't find it on my map.
And tell us what we will find. I'm sure you know better than we do.
But no splinters.
All right, if it will get you out of my hair. But interrupt me, and it's over. Understood? Barnabas Tharm, the one they call the Last King. Understand him, and you will understand the kingdom of Waloed. Barnabas was only a boy when he arrived from beyond the southern seas, and barely a man before he united the ragged tribes of Ash. And having unleashed them upon the formidable Veldamark, he set his throne upon the ancient kingdom's ruins. The victory sent shockwaves around Valisthea, tales of Odin's might spreading through every court, parlor, and drinking hole in the realm. Note that this was in the year 843, and that the king still sits upon his throne some 40 years later, quite untouched by time. Waloed's recent inaction left many wondering if Odin had lost his appetite for war. And yet here we are. The Einherjar was committed to the fray, a bold declaration of intent. Orcs swarm around Drake's Fang, and throngs of Akashic haunt Canva's streets. Though how precisely the havoc they wreak serves Waloed remains unclear. Regardless, if the order to attack truly came from King Barnabas, then one thing is certain. Waloed has achieved the impossible, and made bedfellows of beastmen and the ether-addled alike. All of which is a roundabout way of saying that you will be in unknown territory when you set foot on Ash. Much of the continent has already been lost to the Blight, and what few ports remain will be fiercely guarded. And that is to say naught of its natural defenses. Offshore currents will cast an ill-equipped ship out to sea one moment, and dash it against the rocks the next. But then the Enterprise is anything but ill-equipped, and Mid has made land there before. Now, if only there were someone with an intimate knowledge of the Shadow Coast, and where a daring gentleman might put ashore. You see, Clive, you had the answer all along.
Do you think you can get us back to that beach, Mid?
Picked you up from it, didn't I? Not that it were easy. The currents were a right bastard. But then, if it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be worth doing, would it?
Well said. Thank you, Lady Vivian.
If a few morsels of common knowledge and a sprinkling of tavern talk are worthy of your thanks, I wonder what genuine intelligence might earn me.
Probably more visits. Mid, I need everyone in the ale hall now. I'll fetch Joshua from the shelves.
Aye, aye, Captain.
She can't keep it. Glory to Griga. There you are. And not a moment too soon.
What's happened?
Taya's busy working herself into an early grave. Since the arrival of her latest patient, she's refused to stop, even for a moment. I've tried offering to see to him in her stead, but she won't hear of it. Clive, she hasn't left the infirmary in days. She's pushing herself too hard. And if she doesn't rest soon, will you talk to her? Order her to her chambers if that's what it takes. Because if she keeps this up, I fear the hideaway will be without its best physica before too long.
I know better than to order Taya to do anything, but I'll speak to her.
Thank you. I pray you have better luck than I did. Say whatever you must, but get her to rest. I'm not physical enough to fill her shoes should we lose her.
Well, Talia, Rodriguez worried about you. And if what he says is true, then so am I. We all admire your dedication, but you do need to rest.
I will, when it's time. Until then, I'm staying put. We owe him that much.
Who is he?
Someone from my past. Someone who doesn't deserve to die alone. It won't be much longer. The crystal's curse has almost finished its work. If I had the tears, I could ease his passing. But without them, we've nothing that will touch the agony of those last few hours.
How would tears help this man?
Not my tears. Tears of mercy. Alicia, it's the only thing strong enough.
You wouldn't, Talia. Surely. There must be something we can do for him.
Sometimes an easy death is the greatest kindness we can offer. You do well to remember that, Rodriguez.
I will. We have all the ingredients we need for Alicia Balwam. It needs to be fresh, though, so we rarely have much to hand. I can make the draft if you can bring me what we're missing.
Just tell me what you need.
There is a species of venom-weeping spider that lives in the forests of Norvent, near Lorbert's Pass. Bring me one of their eyes. Preserve it as best you can, but avoid contact with the tears. I'll make sure the other ingredients are ready before you return.
Thank you, Clive. I won't forget this. If it was me lying there, I know he'd do me the same kindness.
Please, Your Grace, stay strong. Ah, my Lord Marquis.
Yote, is anything the matter? You seem troubled. Perhaps I might be able to help.
My lord. Yes. Perhaps you might. It's your brother. His condition continues to worsen, though he does his best to hide it. The lesion on his chest pains him more with each passing day.
I had feared as much.
There are certain elixirs which can ease the suffering of those afflicted by the curse, but...
But
His Grace's case is severe. The drafts I have been able to prepare for him thus far have ceased to have any real effect. So I consulted with Talia and certain of my comrades among the Undying about the possibility of finding something stronger. And thankfully, a recipe was found. The only problem being that the critical ingredient is exceptionally hard to come by, and our supplies are almost exhausted. Unless we can secure more soon, your brother's anguish will likely become unbearable. My lord, I know that I have no right to make demands of you. But would you help? For Joshua's sake.
for Joshua, anything.
Thank you, my lord.
So, what is this critical ingredient?
A rare herb by the name of stonerwort. It grows only where the ether is densest. The vigor it stores in its stems helps to counteract the curse. We discovered a patch near the aqueduct in Rosaria. But alas, yet more ether has erupted from the earth there recently, leaving the whole area flooded. The search continues for a new source. One that we might reach without being turned.
So it's only that you can't reach it? The stonerwort itself is unharmed by the flood?
Well, yes, but...
Then I shall go in your stead.
But, my lord...
You've yet to find another source, correct? So for now, the aqueduct is our best hope. Besides, I'm a dominant. The ether can't hurt me.
Well, if you're sure, my lord. Stonerwort is easily identified by its blood-red blooms. Search around the aqueduct, and you're sure to find some soon enough. I shall remain here and prepare the other ingredients. I had only thought to ask for your assistance in finding a new source of Stonerwort. But if you're sure about collecting it from the flood by the aqueduct, I should be most grateful, my lord.
Then again, why settle for low-born chaff when we've honest-to-goodness royalty right here beneath our roof? If Prince Dion cannot see my love for him, then perhaps the Phoenix will.
Miss, can we read Miss Editor's story for our lesson today?
What a wonderful idea, Jocelyn. Let's do just that.
Canva lost.
Have you tried Molly's lemon tarts? I've never had anything so delicious.
I should be so lucky.
Bloody hell, Clive. Not this again. Oh, ain't you got better things to do with your time?
That remains to be seen. August tells me he showed you a ring, and that the sight of it clearly upset you. Would you mind telling us why?
Come on, mate. Bottling it up ain't gonna help no one. If it weren't the ring, and it was something I said, then I'm sorry.
It was the ring, right? It brought back some unhappy memories, that's all. Memories better left forgotten.
Memories of what?
There are things we'd all rather leave behind, Blackthorn. But sometimes it helps to talk about them.
And sometimes it doesn't. Is that so hard to understand?
Don't be like that.
Fine. If it'll get you off my back. That ring you flashed was the work of Zoltan. We apprenticed together, back in the day.
You've never mentioned him before.
Why would I? Ain't seen him in decades, and the last time I did, we almost came to blows. The ring brought it all back. I could tell it was one of his the moment I saw it. Bastard's improved, though. More than I thought possible. That thing's a work of art.
So it was a nice ring. Worth a few gil, maybe. What's it matter to you?
It matters because engraving metal's a nightmare and I've got no bloody idea how he managed it. The fact is, I couldn't make anything even half that detailed.
So what? You're an armorer, not a jeweler.
I'm the Hideaway's master craftsman. I'm not stealing a living at some backwater village forge. My armor keeps you lot safe and my swords keep you dangerous. As far as I'm concerned, every swing of my hammer's another blow struck in the name of our cause. So I put my heart and soul into my work. Because the curse breakers deserve better than second best. And I refuse to be shown up by the likes of Zoltan.
Very well. Why don't we go and pay him a visit? Learn his secret.
I doubt he'd be too happy to see me.
Then just this once. Make peace with being second best. Swallow your pride, and focus all your energies on the task at hand. Keeping the curse breakers armed and armored. Provided you can do that, you'll hear no complaints from me. But if you can't, and it's going to distract you, we need to do something about it.
What'd you say, Blackthorn? You know he's right. And it's not like you'll be going alone.
All right.
Magic. So, where do you reckon old what's-his-name is then? Zoltan, was it?
In Dravozd, my old village. He won't have left. He's the chief.
Dravozd, eh? That rings a bell. Not far from Tabor, right? just north of the fields of Carava. Got that, Clive? Meet us at Dravos as soon as you can, yeah? And I'll make sure Blackthorn don't get cold feet.
Good luck with that. I'll see you there.
The stew's awfully thin.
If I painted you black, could you fly me across the lake? Are you even listening? Lady Karen's called in.
Sid, do you recall the flowers I had you bring back to the yard?
Vaguely. Is something wrong?
I'm afraid so. I was able to get most of the Morganbeards to take root, but they rarely flower. I fear the soil here does not agree with them. However, I believe I have a solution.
I can't wait to hear it.
I'm going to marry the Morganbeards with Morbles. I know, but hear me out. Morbles are possessed of a highly choleric temperament. The fire which drives them appears to be maintained by an abundance of nutrient-rich ether drawn from their environs. I believe that by grafting a Morble vine to a Morganbeard, the appendage's wealth of vigor-inducing nutrients might well stimulate the flower to bloom. The endeavor, I assure you, is scientifically sound. I simply need a vine to prove the theory.
And all you need is a single vine from an ordinary Morble.
That is correct. A single vine. As for the Morble, I fear ordinary may not suffice. But, as luck would have it, a most extraordinary specimen is rumored to haunt the swamps of Rosaria. Why, a notice concerning this very creature was only recently posted on the hunt board.
How timely.
Well, I shan't keep you any longer. I know you have much to do. As do I. Now, where did I put my watering can?
Sell anything today?
As much as you, I'll wager.
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
Got that sellsword the dame's so fond of. That was some fine work you did up in Moor. We'll, see to our own affairs from now on now. Duke's got big plans for the Empire.
Do you think he was the only one who saw it? And you're just gonna fall into line? What else can I do? I'm a soldier.
I don't trust this Duke. If we're not careful, he'll undo all the Dame's hard...
Oh, Clive. What am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military stronghold.
A foundation upon which to build a new Sambrek. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. One built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrek. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel, and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men, if it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation, least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
And who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf? For your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence if you ask them. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man. Well, will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops, yes.
All right. Wish me luck.
The fact that the soldiers trust you may well carry some weight with the Duke. He needs their support, after all. I only hope that you can make him see sense before he tears the town apart.
I may have met this Duke before, at the Remembrance Ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
We already have a leader in the Dane.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary. So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later. A citizens' revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Sabine, you're embarrassing me.
Do you think he was the only one who survived?
That so-called Duke.
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
And to think I would be lying under a pile of rubble in Twinside.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes. If he comes calling, The only thing I'm giving the Duke of Oriflamme's a piece of my mind. Maybe a smack in the gob.
The garrison salvaged what they could from all.
Sell anything today?
As much as you, I'll wager.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
The Dominion's all but done for. And it's lucky we stayed here.
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
Do you think he was the only one who saw it? And you're just gonna fall into line? What else can I do?
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. But I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes. I mean, it'd be nice if we could all do whatever the hell we wanted and not end up being torn to shreds by a swarm of fiends. But we can't, so we've got to make sacrifices, just like the Duke of Oriflamme says.
It's not only control of the garrison he wants, it's the...
Well, what do you think?
What do I think? I think.
A whole day to dry some...
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing yourself.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits. What the common folk don't understand is, this is for them too. Either we turn the Empire back into a force to be reckoned with, or we live in fear the rest of our lives.
One at a time now. It's enough for everyone.
You're the one who's talking to His Eminence.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children.
If the Duke can get us cement and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Dame. But I'm with the Duke on this one. If turning this place into a fortress is what it takes to protect my family, I'll do it.
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing yourself.
Welcome back. Wraiths give you any trouble?
None worth mentioning.
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but...
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then.
Despite my repeated advances, His Eminence has proven a difficult conquest. Fortunately, I am nothing if not persistent. But, be that as it may, I might yet need you to press the point.
Your town needs you. I need you. But the Duke would have me clapped in irons.
Saw the captain just now. He wasn't wearing his uniform.
I would speak with this Duke.
What does the dame have to say about all this, I wonder?
I swore to protect this town and the people I love. I don't need a uniform to do that.
Let's go. Thanks, girl. Rodrigo could have mentioned his spiders would be the size of curls. Nice try. alone won't be enough. Rodrigo will have prepared the other ingredients by now.
Come on. Fly, Ambrosia.
Here's the aqueduct. Now to find our stonewort. Yote mentioned blood-red petals. Just my luck. I won't be picking anything till they're gone. There's only one thing for Here it is. Better collect as much as I can before reinforcements arrive. Right. That should do it. Let's get these back to Yote. Ready, go? Be safe. Just any more, could it? All right then. is definitely anything but ordinary. Now, let's get this vine back to the yard.
The Guardians of the Flame were true friends to the rest. They fought our enemies, manned our barricades, joined us in our patrols. Now they're gone.
What are you after? That all, is it?
Just because the heavens have gone to wreck and ruin, it don't mean we have to.
Look, Daddy. Shining so brightly. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah. Pretty blue. Sinister.